JT Miller, the new captain of the New York Rangers.
I thought that was strange. I'm sorry. You guys tell me. Like that, they're just. I know.
I mean, you want the intensity, Noodles, but when he's behind the net yelling at guys like where to go, and he's got a fiery side to him, and it's just where is that going to go as far as leadership?
I do respect it because you're right. He's a really good player, and he comes to play every night. Like he is an intense guy.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's been there 10 years. They brought him in at the debt. Like you just, there's no long history. Like, okay, this is the next in line for the captain. It's like, okay, we need a captain, and you're the guy. Like, I would have not. I don't know what Adam Fox is like, but that to me, it was like, okay, Fox has been there for a while.
But I think they were so tired of the soft and the skill, and it's like we need to have one guy that's going to lead the charge. And at least the one thing you can say about the guy, he's going to bring it most nights. He might go over the edge a little bit sometimes, but at least he brings it.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's basically what they're saying. Like his DNA is what they're looking for. You know, they're looking for intensity. And my angle is always about the Vancouver side of things, where Elias Pettersson looks like the complete opposite of JT Miller. Like just he is. Exactly. I've never heard him raise his voice. I've never seen him
hardly hear
play
his
with
voice,
intensity.
period.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And obviously that was like such a massive story last year. That the two of them and how public it got, and it got to the point where Miller just had to go, and he gets to New York, and it's kind of like the Dion Phaneuf scenario where Dion, I don't think was pushed out of Calgary. I don't believe that was what happened. But remember when Dion showed up in Toronto, it was like, that's the guy. This is who we've been looking for.
Big personality.
Exactly. Walks right in. I got the music on. We're going out. Yeah. We're doing this. We're doing that. We're going for dinners. And that's JT Miller. You know, Miller just walked in there and made an impression immediately, and
well, you know what?
It's a quick turn, though, for the Rangers to move to him.
It is. You're right. The one thing is he can't hide who he is, which is a big personality, a strong personality. And when you look at how that team is constructed, Zibanejad is quiet guy, DJ, really laid back. Panarin, not a big personality. Funny, well-liked, but, seems like a quiet dressing room. That's the one thing I did hear from people that are close to the organization. That dressing room, you could hear a pin drop. So maybe Miller comes in, he's disruptor. I think the one thing they did, Trouba was a good leader there. Like they do miss a big hardened guy like that.
Man, they couldn't wait to get rid of that guy.
They could.
They found that one to
ran
be
him
weird.
out of town. Just ran him out of town. And listen, there was times he didn't play well. I get it. Like you have to look at the product on the ice, not just the person being a good guy and all of that type of stuff. But man, they made some moves where I don't know if their team is better. Like Trouba had to go. Who else had to go?
Well,
the Kako,
K'Andre Miller. They moved off.
Miller. Like they moved off some guys where you're like.
They moved off some stiffness is what they moved off of, man. Like K'Andre Miller, Kreider, Trouba. It's like, let's see what you got, fellas, because the other guys never showed up in the big moments. So what are you going to do now?
Yeah, that's a fascinating team for me. There's a couple. Adam said he thinks Boston is gone. I don't. I think Boston might have a resurgence. To be honest,
to what extent, and at the expense of who in the Atlantic?
I don't know.
Resurgence?
I think Boston is going to be pushing for a playoff spot this year. Like, that's the thing. The Atlantic is going to be a problem for a lot of people because I don't think listen, Buffalo is probably the worst team in the Atlantic, but if they end up having a good season, you never know. They might take points off of people. It's a separate conversation.
Well, but it's an important one, though, because you're right. I mean, the Rangers are in the Metro, and it's obviously they missed the playoffs, though, last year.
Right, but you look at it as Shesterkin didn't have a great season. Fox didn't have a good season. Zibanejad, their top players had down seasons. Are they going to have 2 down seasons in a row, or are they going to get their act together? That's a fascinating case study for me. Vancouver is one, and Boston is the other.
Well, Boston, Swayman just never got it together.
Right.
It just never happened for him, and he's much better than the way he played last year. McAvoy was hurt.
Yes,
and
Lindholm was hurt.
And Lindholm was hurt. So those are 2 of your top 4 defensemen. And up the middle of the ice, they had issues. The thing is, they just seem to invest in the wrong guys. Like Pasternak is a lock every single year for 50 goals plus
who's
and 100
dishing
points.
it to him this year, man?
I don't have an answer. That's the thing. I look at who scores in Boston. Who is
Geeky
outside
and
of
Pastrnak.
Pastrnak? Yeah, exactly. That's where I struggled to see it. I love McAvoy. I think Swayman will be better, clearly.
Yeah.
But who is scoring goals in Boston? And if they're going in, then who's coming out? Ottawa, Montreal,
I don't know.
Toronto, Tampa. I don't know who's coming out.
You just asked the best question. Who is putting the puck in the net for those guys? Because if Pasta
Morgan
ain't doing
Geekie
it.
had what? What did he have last year? What did Geekie have?
He had
get 30?
a career year. And
30,
again,
right?
Pastrnak is going to do it every single year.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter who he's playing with. He's going to score. But
I think you're right. But listen, all I'm saying is that there's not the Atlantic seems to be bunched up again. And I still believe it's going to be 5 from the Atlantic and 3 from the Metro. But the Rangers could probably make things very difficult if they have a good season. Vancouver, Boston, I think, is a team that if they get health, they're better than what they showed. They bottomed out last year, obviously. I think it's going to be wildly fascinating to see, who has good seasons. Mm-hmm. At some point, we talked about it earlier. Like, does Buffalo put it together?
I'll believe it when I see it. I can't entertain it. I can't even have that's one I'm willing to just be shocked by and say didn't see that coming, as opposed to being bold and trying to predict it.
Which is fair because they haven't for 14 years.
And Detroit's the same thing, Noodles. I don't think Detroit's a playoff team.
No,
I don't see Detroit or Buffalo.
Well, they got the goaltender from Anaheim, but is that going to put him over the top?
Yeah.
What's he done in Anaheim the last 5 years? Nothing.
I have no idea. He's been rumored to be traded for 10.
Right.
Yeah. No, listen, again, they have to prove everybody wrong. They are going to earn their preseason rankings because of what we've seen in the past. What I'm saying is if there's another level for some of the young guys in Buffalo, if Detroit, again, puts stuff together, gets health, gets goaltending, these teams they're not like last place in the league. That's my point. That's the interesting thing is it'll be.
Could they be though? That's the thing. I hear you. They're probably not. But like last year, Boston was real close to it.
But they bottomed out. They shut everybody down.
I know because of injuries, and they traded guys. They moved. They moved off Coyle. They moved off obviously Brad Marchand.
Right.
But and they moved off Brandon Carlo and others. But I don't know. I look up the middle of the ice there. I don't know. Don't know who's supplying offense outside of Pastrnak. Geekie had 33 goals and 57 points. Like, this was a massive discrepancy. Pastrnak had 43 goals, 106 points, and Geekie was second in points with 57.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I think it's tough to judge, though, on last year because
I understand that. But, again, I'm not sure. Is Geekie going to even replicate that? I don't know. I look at Boston. I don't have them in the playoffs. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're in the playoffs. And if they get in, I think what Adam was saying was like we're talking a playoff, daunting task to beat them. If they get in, it would scream wild card to me, and they would not scare me.